Welcome to this edition of Artist Spotlight. Today I have with me the artist Katy Antill. Welcome, Katy.
Thank you, Terry. It's great to be here.
We are excited to have this large mosaic that you created for the Orange County Multicultural Center. And it is gorgeous and beautiful and getting great comments. But let's talk a little bit about you. Have you been doing mosaics for a long time?
You know, I actually, it's been about 8 years now. Let's see, 17. Well, I started in 2014. My very first project was a volunteer project for my son's school. And I said, let's do a mural and breathe some soul into the school. And turned to the art teacher and she said, let's do it. And I said, well, we can hire a mosaic artist. She goes, girl, we're artists. We can do it ourselves. I said, well, I've never mosaic. So I was really lucky. I went to New Orleans and took a really intensive course with Laurel True, who is a famous community mosaic artist. She did a lot of work in Haiti after one of the earthquakes. And she was an amazing teacher. And I took a 2-week intensive course and she taught me everything, what great qualities and materials, and since then I've been doing it ever since. I used to design textiles for 25 years, textiles and rugs, and once I did that mosaic, it was a 450 square foot mural, outdoor mural, so it was about twice the size of this one, but it took 3 years, lots of volunteers, and we cried at the end of it because it was such a great labor. But I knew I had to do it for a living. So I knew that I was hooked. And so that was my first one, and I've been doing it ever since. Phased myself out of the textile and rug industry and just couldn't be happier.
So you had some commercial art background.
Yes, I got a fine arts degree from the University of Texas back in '89, so it kind of dates me. But and moved to New York City right after that. Started designing fabric. I did that for about 5 years and worked in the fashion, industry and did a lot of prints, just repeats and prints. It was great. And then I moved back to Houston and started designing custom area rugs, and I did that for another 20 years. And so yeah, I was used to dealing with architects and lots of interior designers and that my whole life. So that commercial end of it, I had that going, and I think I've worked small to scale, and so as I get older, my eyesight started going, so I thought, I love working large, I don't have to worry about seeing, and my sister told me, she goes, well, wait till the arthritis kicks in.
So as you've developed your mosaic practice, how has that gone? This was a public art call, so you were competing against people from all over the world.
Yeah. Yes, actually I want to say, and this is a shout out to all artists trying to get into the public art realm, don't ever give up. I applied to you guys for the park, the Parcel J Park, and I made it as a finalist, but I didn't get the job. And Dawn called me and said, girl, don't give up. We have another one coming up. And she said, you did a good job. It was hard for you guys to choose. And it went to Sherry Bosella, she's I follow her and she's great. She came when we were installing, and she's a local artist here and super talented. And when I saw her work, I was like, well, no wonder she won. And I remember telling my son, I said, I didn't get it, but it went to a local artist. He said, that's good, Mom, it's good for that. I said, I know, because that would be great for me too. And I said, but I'm gonna try again. And then I tried again and got it, so don't ever give up. And I'm just so grateful.
Have you been getting other commissions?
It's been very good, yes. I've moved into sculpture, so I'm working with Renfro and Company in Houston. They're metalsmiths that are really just very well renowned and do excellent work. And I'm working on a large sculpture for a prairie, a pocket of prairie outside of Dallas that we're going to install in the next couple weeks. Yeah, and I did a few schools in DC and did a sculpture in DC and some other mosaic murals. And so I'm combining the steel and the mosaic together. And I've evolved, yes.
And how are you feeling about this mural of Pine Hills?
Well, I have to say, it's still my favorite to date. I've done about...
We like to hear that. Sounds good.
I have about 11 projects under my belt, and this is still my favorite, and
Why is that?
You know, the reason why I got into it is the community. And when I first found out about the job, the Pine Hills brand statement is what attracted me. It inspired me, and I just fell in love with it. And I've included a lot of the virtues in the mural, as you can see. And then all the artists that were finalized got to have a Zoom meeting with all the community members. And that was so inspiring. And, you know, it truly is a multicultural center. And then I did a lot of research. Research is key, and I think that's part of why it's successful and why I love it so much, because it has a lot of symbolism. And I think it speaks to the community members as a whole and individually, and hopefully, from what I'm gathering, it's bringing joy and enlightenment, which is my intent.
Great. Well, thank you for bringing joy and enlightenment to our community with this mural, and perhaps we'll see more of your work.
Well, I'd love it. I love Orange County, and everybody's been very kind to me, and this has been nothing but a pleasure.
Super.
The whole group.
And thank you for watching this edition of the Artist Spotlight. Hope you'll join us again.